When it all started happening, I was 4, and I ended it at the age of 17. When I was sleeping, he would come in and wake me up, and after I went to the bathroom, he would touch me inappropriately. And at the time, I didn't know what was happening because I was 4. And as I got older, he started doing it more. And he would also take pictures of me. When I would get out of the shower, he would hide a phone in places of the bathroom. And when I would go to my room to get dressed, he would also hide a phone in there too. I didn't tell anybody at the time because I didn't know what to do. As I got older, he kept touching me more and more. And then I finally just had enough. And I called the cops. I told them everything that my father was doing. They asked me where the phone was, and I told them where it was at in my room. And they went in there and they found the phone and all the pictures. They ended up giving him 20 years. People think that I'm lying about the whole thing. They said that I was coached in to say what I said by my mom. And they said that I used the phone to pretty much set him up for all of it. My Aunt AJ and Aunt Tiffany want to believe me because I'm her niece. They don't want to believe that their baby brother would do this to me. So they came here to find out the truth and help me put out the truth of what he did. Everybody needs to know that I'm telling the truth and he actually did take the pictures himself, and that I'm telling the truth and he's not.
AJ, that's your niece on the tape. How do you feel about what she's saying?
I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. I never knew the full story. I never really talked to her about it. She's just, when she was younger, she used to lie, but so did my brother. So, to hear her actually say that is just heartbreaking. I want to believe her.
He's your brother.
Yeah.
I mean, he did go to prison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you believe he did this?
Yeah. I believe, part of my gut is telling me that he did it, but he definitely denies everything. She used to steal his phone all the time. Kids always take phones, and he blamed it, the pictures. He said that they were selfies that she had taken of herself, and they were on his phone, so he's getting charged with it. But the more he would talk, the more I kind of questioned.
Why doesn't the mother have Lashanda?
She didn't have the means to have a child when she had Lashanda. She had no electricity. She had no house. She was living in a camper, and she didn't follow guidelines.
So your brother and her weren't together?
No.
So they gave the little girl, they gave Lashanda to your brother?
Yes.
When she was 3 years old?
Yep.
Okay. And then what? The mother just said, okay, your brother has...
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you think the family believes that so many years later that she plants this in Lashanda's head to what? At this point, because how old is Lashanda?
She's 19 now.
Couldn't she just say, I want to be with my mother without...
Well, no, because at that point I think she was 15 or 16.
Okay, so this was a few years ago that
Yeah.
your brother... She would go through all that to put your brother in prison?
No, and that's kind of why, after stopping and just being a little bit more level-headed about it, and thinking of all of the different stories that were being told, it kind of, she's just a baby. I have to protect her no matter what.
Now, your brother pled guilty, right?
He pled no contest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to, make it something that it isn't, but usually when you plead no contest, there's enough evidence against you that you will be found guilty.
Right. So he kept like all of his court dates and stuff super secretive.
Did you ever talk to him after he went to prison? Did you talk to him?
No, I refuse to talk to him. I have kids of my own that I need to protect.
Did you ever talk to your dad after he was arrested?
No.
No.
I wasn't allowed to. The cops said not to have any contact with him.
Okay. When this behavior was going on, did you ever say to your dad, Dad, what the hell are you doing?
I've wanted to, but I was too afraid to like tell him like how I felt about it. Because he was also abusive. So like I didn't want to tell him.
Abusive how?
He would like hit me and stuff and like pretty much punch me. And like I didn't want to tell him because I was afraid that he was going to hit me.
Yeah. How long did his abuse with the sexual stuff go on for?
From the age of 4 to the age of 17, so like quite a while.
Now, obviously, there's family members to this day that think that you're lying about this. That somehow maybe your mother even coached you to say these things.
She didn't, because like she wasn't even in my life to coach me to do this. I just like, I had enough. I need to get help. I need to tell the rest of my family the truth so their kids can be protected and so they don't have to worry about him hurting anybody.
Has anybody come up to you and directly said to you, we don't believe you, you're lying?
Yes, his side,
family members?
Yeah, his family members don't believe me. But, because like they believe him because they're his.
Sure, he's got all these close family members,
Yep.
so no way he's going to do this.
Yeah.
And from what your aunt AJ said, they're mad at her for coming here today because she shouldn't go on TV and she should just always take her brother's side, even though he accepted years in prison.
Yeah,
You live with your mom?
unfortunately.
Is your mother loving to you? Sympathetic?
Not really. She didn't even want me to come here.
Why didn't she want you to come?
Because she's like, well, it's in the past, so just leave it in the past. I was like,
Because you're not affected by this at all anymore,
No,
right?
I'm not.
You're just totally adjusted and nothing. I mean, come on. I mean, these things stay with you for a long time,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I mean, how could your mother be so cold to you?
I have no clue.
Why didn't your mother come?
Because her excuse was, it's too far of a drive. I don't want to get up too early. I don't want to go.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously offered your mother to come here.
Yeah, and she said that she would go, but it was too much of a drive. She didn't want to get up early.
Maybe that's why she didn't see you all those times when you were a little kid.
Yeah,
Because, you know, it was a long drive.
yep.
But I just want you to be honest. We're the only ones who have fought for you this whole time.
And we love you.
Anything you like to say?
I did. Said, and we love you. We always got your back.
We've always loved you.
And even if these results come out and you are lying, we will help you. Get the help you need.
I mean, you know, my reaction to that is, I think that's even if you are lying, we'll support you. Are you lying?
No.
I'm just saying.
She's just had like a rough childhood, and maybe this was her out. The only way to get her
Yeah,
out.
she had a rough childhood because of your brother.
I know.
No. Obviously.
Okay. I think it's a crime that people didn't believe you. Now, I always say, I hear stories and I go, well, you know, you got to hear both sides. You got to get all the facts. You can't rush to judgment. But in this case, this is a case that guy doesn't fight and say, No way would I ever do that to my daughter. I plead not guilty, you know?
Yeah.
Eyewitnesses to the, you should go to jail if you're locking your kids in a room.
Yep.
You should go to jail if you're putting locks on cupboards and refrigerators if they can't eat. Like, these are all things, first of all, you shouldn't be a parent if you're doing things like this. And shame on the people that don't believe you, the family members. But Lashanda, you came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked you, between the ages of 4 and 17, did your father ever instruct you to take your clothes off so he could touch you in a sexual manner? You answered yes. Between the ages of 4 and 17, did your father threaten you with harm if you told anyone about the abuse? You answered yes. Did you take the naked pictures of yourself that were found in your father's phone? You answered no. Did your father take inappropriate photos of you from the ages of 4 to 15 years old? You answered yes. Did your mother coach you to lie and say that your father touched you inappropriately? You answered no. Did you fabricate the story that your father touched you because you wanted to get out of the house? You answered no. The results came back all the same, and it came back that Lashanda told the truth.
Good girl, Shanda.
These stories make me sad. And when I hear stories like this, I look back on my own life and think, wow, how lucky I was to have a mother and father that cared about me, that made sure that I was fed and taken care of and loved. And I mean, it's just luck, right? I had a good dad, and I still have a good mom. Your mother and father failed you.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even with that, with the whole weight of that against you, you're a survivor. And you're here. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of
Telling your story, girl.
what you're doing, somebody might watch your story, somebody out there right now who might be in a similar situation, and you're giving them hope, and maybe they get out of that situation. I hope that when you go home, all your family looks at this and says, hey, you know, he's a monster, he did this, we believe you. And I certainly would hope that your mother would look at this and say, wow, I really did fail my daughter. And from what your own words, she's not being the mother that you would want. And I would hope that she takes this chance of being in your life, because she has access to you, staying with her, that she would do whatever it can to repair the relationship, because you're not going to have one with your father. I hope that your mother would step up and do whatever she needs to do to repair the relationship between you and her. Anything you want to say to her?
I'm sorry I even doubted you even the slightest bit.
It's okay.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming and telling everyone.
Now that we have evidence, maybe he'll stay longer. Let's go up to get a block.
How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, like, I'm glad that I came here and everybody now knows the truth of what he actually did.
Yeah.
She's been confident this whole time, too.
Well, I got to say, I'm really proud of you.
Me too.
Yes.
That's just to survive that, just to have the courage to speak out against it. I wish you all good fortune going forward, and I really hope that I really do hope that your mother watches this, sees this, and does everything she can to repair the damage that she did.
Yep, me too.
Very nice.
I called you, Steve, for help because I watch your show all the time.
Somebody's gonna watch this and say, you know what, she was brave enough to do that, I can do that too. Can you relate to this story? Go to www.stevewilkos.com to get my help.